Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles the Bandsman, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today, we got a great show for y'all. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, last night, we did a live on this channel where we were reacting to the comments of Austin Rivers. Right, where essentially Austin Rivers was reacting to one of the biggest stories in the week, which was just the drama surrounding Rich Paul, Max Kellerman, and their podcast, but specifically the news of Rich Paul being approached by Austin Reeves' agent. Right, so we had spoken about that extensively. Many other shows spoke about it, bigger shows than us. They spoke about it as well. And I think almost everyone understands where we stand on that particular story, even Shannon Sharp. To the surprise of many, seemed to scold Rich Paul for just his blatant unprofessionalism. So we all spoke about it. But then last night, Austin Reeves decided to jump into the frame. We found out about it through a Yahoo Sports post, where he essentially was saying what I think more players need to say and more people in the NBA community need to say, which is, what the bloody hell are you doing, man? Like, what the bloody hell are you doing? So, for those of you who maybe didn't catch that live or don't know what I'm talking about, we want to play what Austin Rivers had to say for you now, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to his comments here.
Combo though too, because obviously that's just
he's got to
podcaster.
He's got to stop. He's got to stop that. If you're gonna, first off, why do you have a podcast anyway? I don't understand it. I don't get it. I got nothing against Rich. I don't understand why you have a podcast, bro.
Well, his argument would be that players have podcasts.
You're not a
playing in
player.
Yeah.
I don't know any other agents who are sitting there on the mic talking. Plus, everything you say is going to be a representation of LeBron, even if he don't feel the way. Now you got LeBron having to come out and be like, hey, Rich Paul has his own opinion. I don't know. I don't affiliate with that. Just because he's saying they want to get off Reeves, that doesn't mean I want to get off Reeves. That shouldn't even have to be a conversation. It's weird. Bro, why do you have a podcast, Rich? You are an agent, meaning you're supposed to be in the background running all the other stuff. You coming out at the forefront and giving your opinions on the game and like saying this stuff, it doesn't work. Are there any other sports agents that have big podcasts right now?
No.
In the NBA? Zero.
Yeah.
I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. And you know why people know you, Rich. Listen, I got nothing but respect for Rich. You've worked your ass off and done a good job building your own network, your own business. You've done great. You and Maverick have done a fantastic job. It's one of the stories of all time when we talk about an athlete putting on his friends and his friends doing a great job to give it back to their to the guy that helped them, build a brand around them. They've done a great job. Rich Paul's a legend for that. That's your lane. And you've done that and you've earned that. He's obviously, I think he's engaged or dating Adele, one of the two. Everything's flowing for you, bro. You got everything. You're cool. You shouldn't have a podcast about basketball. Shouldn't happen. It's a conflict of interest, for one. Just because your main client, the client that built this with you, plays for the Lakers. So you talking about Lakers roster and who they need to trade as an agent is wild.
Yeah.
Excellent. So you heard what his comments had to say. What he had to say in his comments. Look, I thought he was pretty much spot on, right? And I think a lot of people would concur with him, but not everybody. Former NBA player Eddie Johnson decided to push back on the comments from Austin Rivers and was just like, no, I have a different take on things. And these are the comments that we want to focus on. But before we even get into what he said, today's show is brought to you by our sponsor, Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports with over 10 million members. Prize Picks makes it easy to get real money action on the sports and players you love. You pick more or less on at least 2 for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. For example, this week I'm really looking forward to some of these upcoming games. This week I'm picking Stephen Curry for more than 29 points. I'm picking Kevin Durant for more than 27 points. I'm picking Giannis Antetokounmpo for more than 12 rebounds. And I'm picking Luka Doncic for more than 8 assists. If you're like me and you like to play it safe, you'll love Prize Picks' new feature, Flex Plays. It's the safest way to play. You can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. Plus, you can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. On top of this, Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money as quick as in 15 minutes. So download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. it's guaranteed. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. Okay, so let's read what he had to say on Twitter. He said, notice how Austin did not keep going. Why not also say current NBA players should not have podcasts? Players running to a studio after games and off days talking about current peers is just as bad. You think teams want their players focused on a script instead of a playbook? Okay, so you heard what he had to say there. What are my thoughts about this? Look, I agree with him as well. And that conversation has already been had, which is, should current players have a podcast? Current, like active players, rather, and have a podcast? I'm against it. All right? I'm against it. I just feel like it shows a lack of focus. Now, obviously, there are exceptions to the rule. I think a person you can make an exception for, and I think he's the only one, is LeBron James, because LeBron has been able to exhibit a laser focus on his work that most of these other guys have not been able to. The Paul Georges, the Draymond Greens, and the majority of the other guys. So I'll give LeBron a pass on that, just because he seems like someone that has been able to exhibit that he is someone that has exhibited an extreme level of focus on his work, and it hasn't affected his game. You can't say the same for other people. At one point, there were more Paul George podcast episodes than games played at a certain point. So I would agree with him. But I just think there is this itch to talk and, be a part of the conversation, even if you're not saying anything sensible. It's just like, okay, I want to talk to. I want to have something to say. So I'm against current players, active players having podcasts. In terms of what he said about in response to Rich Paul, look, Rich Paul, Rich Paul is doing what he's going to do, and I don't think that he's going to stop. I think what Rich and these guys have figured out is a formula to success, right? And there are many different ways, to skin a cat. Look, some people, how they make it in this space based off of my observation, are just by giving common sense takes. You have other people that build strong audiences by having strong views, like ourselves here. We're not LeBron guys or anything like that. Then you have guys that figured out a way to rage bait, right? And just essentially be, they're always in opposition of the sensible thing to say. So if most people are going to think, hey, this is the correct answer to this thing, they take the opposite position, which kind of has a little bit of rage bait in it as well, right? I know people like that, family members that are they're always ready to take the other side of an argument just for the simple fact of just because they want to be a contrarian. You have that as well. In the case of Rich Paul, he's figured out that, look, given the fact that I'm a current age and I represent LeBron James, it already creates a conflict of interest. And when I talk about various things, is all automatically going to get people talking. He may not be saying obtuse things, but the fact that these comments are coming from him, being who he is, that creates the controversy, that creates the conversation, and that's what works, right? That is what's working. The most notable things from his show have been the things related to Michael Jordan, the Lakers, and all of that other stuff. So that's their formula to success. Bill Simmons from The Ringer, who's spearheading this project, said that he didn't really he didn't really see this thing turning into what it is, and he's happy for the fact that this podcast is causing so much drama and chaos for the Lakers. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. Everybody's weighing in, and I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about this. So whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comments. We'll catch you on the next show. Peace.